Okay, you just be you.
Okay.
So, Vanessa Houston, and today is Tuesday, January.
The 20. Oh, wow.
It's right around the
25th? Is it
25th, 2025, and I'm going to videotape this, and I just want to make sure I have your permission. And then, if you don't want me to use your name, like for example, if I'm sharing it with alumni or someone online, if there's a piece of it that provides an insight or lesson about coming out of homelessness, coming out of discouragement, and your faith, if you don't want me to use your face, if you don't want me to use your name, just tell me. Or what can I use to inspire others? What part of this?
Everything.
You sure? Okay. And I'll probably not use your name just for the sake of, I might not even use the location because I would like to, if they know you and they're from the mission, great. But if not, maybe it'll just be a generic message from a beautiful woman who is taking a big step after, what you've been through. So let me ask you this question. You came out of the mission and you made big changes. Can you tell me about the changes that you've gone through and where you are now and where you're headed to?
Well, I was always taking a class that Tim, I cannot say the last, was doing classes. He's the one that taught me how to go out there and strive to get the job. And it was the best class. You guys have to take that class. And it made me grow and it made me be confident. And so from there, I moved on and I had got a job. I was working all along, and the job was interesting, customer service, everything like that. And from there, I made my move to get my own apartment. And with that being said, I did the best I could stand here in the place that I'm at. And my job wasn't as, let's put it that way, it wasn't like a good job. Not like a good job, but it's just something to make me.
Can we jump into that? Kind of like a bit of a dialogue here, because I think your lesson there and what you did was huge.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you did well. I think you did a great job of identifying a job you could do well at. You worked in this retail environment where you made people feel welcome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you made them feel welcome. You knew about the product. You engaged with people from all over the world that were visiting this beautiful city, right?
Exactly.
And so in terms of the job, you did well and enjoyed it from everything I heard for a long time while you were working there.
Yes, it's been like a year. It was a year and a couple of months. I met entertainers that I actually got them to buy stuff in the store. Wow, it was like meeting new people. I even had people that come in there, like a man came in there, he didn't even purchase anything, and he said, some came in here just for me to ask you what your name is. And so I gave him my name, and then he said, that's all I wanted to know. And he walked out, and I said, are you sure you didn't want anything, sir? Is there anything that you want me to help you with? No, God is the one that told me to come in here and talk to you. And I said, so you could be my angel, right? And he said, you never know. And he walked out. I was like, got chills. And then I had a lot of people, they just, there's a couple of them that came here, pastors and stuff. They knew right off the bat that something was wrong, and they wanted to give me a hug. And they're from they was like North Carolina. Like there's so many different people, but I enjoy everybody who came in there, and I helped like a lot of people, even some that came in there that was sad or something happened to them on the outside. I talked them into.
Yeah.
And I always let them know to always pray, always have God in your heart. And I said, I've been blessed. Trust me, I've been blessed. I even helped a homeless guy. That he was laying on the sidewalk, and I said, wow, he's, let me just come in here and I bought him some socks. I had got him some lunch, gave it to him. I prayed that he uses it and stuff, and he turned around and took the bag that I gave him and put his feet in there, and he sold the socks, and he didn't eat the food. But it's just me giving my blessing. I've been blessed, so I want to give my blessing to and try to help.
So it's interesting. The lesson from the job that I learned from you listening to you is find a job where you can really tap into your passions and your interests. And you were good at making people feel welcome, representing the store, welcoming them to the city, treating them not like tourists, but friends. So you did great. The problem, and we won't give the company's name, is that what you had was a manager that kind of took advantage of you, because she would give you completely inconsistent hours and then do a layoff and then tell you it's not really a layoff. We're going to call you back here. Hang on to the key. We'll give you hours later, not give you your final paycheck. Keep, upping and down, increasing and decreasing your hours in a way where whenever she needed to save a little money or make a change, it sounded like you were the one that she messed with her schedule.
Exactly. And there's also a moment where she lives far, and she would call me and say that the alarm's going off in the store, and wanted me to get up at 10 o'clock at night to go there to find out why the alarm was going off. I told her that you're the manager, so that is your job. Well, they told me that they didn't have hours to give, but they was willing to give me 2 hours to go to turn up the alarm. I said, my life comes first. And I'm not going to go do something that you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Not to mention, you couldn't really plan your life, manage your life with completely inconsistent hours.
Exactly.
And so when they did it again, it just kept happening over and over. When we did it again recently, just to make a long story short, the miraculous thing that I was just so excited about was where there was a whole discussion about you have family ready for you in the Midwest.
Yes.
And a job and family and love. But the problem was you were tied into this inconsistent job where they're promising to call you with more hours soon. You had a lease. And what you did was within about a 24-hour period, you were out of that lease and you were out of that company. You got your final check by kind of standing with the employer. You stood firm. You did a little documenting. Make sure you had a little document with some dates. And then with the landlord, it was just a polite request explaining your situation. And they let you out of your lease. It was pretty miraculous, wasn't it?
And I thank you guys. I really do. Because I don't want to cry, but if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been able to break my lease. I didn't even know the manager liked me until that day. And it's like when I come through, I say hi and bye and stuff like that. But then when you guys came, that's why it's called Rescue Mission. That when you guys came, I just felt I was so happy and stuff like that. And I get a chance to spend time with my family. They haven't seen me since I was 5 years old. So they didn't even know I was in a shelter or anything like that. But the mission did help me out a lot. And then to go to my job, something I never knew, that when they lay you off, that they're supposed to give you your check. And I didn't get that, until Tim came there. And he talked to her, and I ended up getting my check 2 days later.
Yeah, and
you let him know about the law.
They kept ignoring the law, labor laws. They were holding on to overtime hours. There were just so many things that didn't make any sense. And they were really, what was happening is they were exploiting you as someone who they could give hours when they pleased. And and what was interesting is when we went in there and we're saying goodbye, there were coworkers crying and saying they want to give you their hours because you were the strong one. You were the one customers loved. You were the one they didn't want to lose. And that was a pretty powerful example. And then the boss started scrambling to cover her butt. She started to offer the world, you know, and you realize that, okay, maybe she got caught with her hand in a cookie jar because she was offering some crazy generous stuff to have you not raise a fuss, for you maybe not to leave so quickly, for you.
Well, she got in trouble from the top bosses because they said they had hours and it's just her. So they turned around and made her call me, and you didn't know that they called me, and she called me and said, well, Vanessa, when you go
To the
When you
Midwest.
go to the Midwest, that what you should do is that if you don't like it, always know that you got a job with us. You can come back and work with us.
Wow.
And I was like, no, I don't think so, because I didn't feel like I was appreciated for the job that I did. And my head boss, he came there to buy me breakfast and give me like gift certificate because a lot of customers talk highly about me.
Wow.
Like that, so.
Well, I think there's no question you did an outstanding job at that
Thank
place.
you.
You really did. But you also did an outstanding job, in my opinion, of coming out of a rough place. How long were you homeless?
Actually, I left everything in Jersey, where I'm from, and I left everything to come help families. So I came here 2020, and so I've been homeless since 2020.
Okay.
And I came to the shelter 2022.
Okay. And what advice would you give yourself, with all the wisdom and experience you have now, if you could give yourself advice, or someone who is on the edge of homelessness or currently in homelessness, what advice would you give them to prevent it or to get out of it?
The only thing I can say about that is have God in your heart first, because if it wasn't for Him, I would like still be out there on the street and stuff like that. And then find someone, like you can always find someone that knows about God and everything like that can talk to you, and then you just take it from there. Just stay strong and just know that God is watching you, and He's gonna lead you the right way. It's just that you have to believe in Him.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Being a woman on the streets and trying to find shelter is really tough, isn't it?
It is, and I think my cousin, because she's the one that led me to the rescue mission, and I never knew about shelters. I never knew about I could get help or anything like that. And I did stay in the street. Like I stayed at someone's place, which was not safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also stayed outside, sleeping in my car for like a day or so. And then my cousin, she just didn't like see me like that, and she brought me there to the shelter, the 30-day program I had to go through. And then I had to do cleaning. They taught me how to, this is what you got to do. And then when I made it to the year program, that's when I started seeing a lot of things, because I was to myself. I didn't want to deal with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I was very suicidal. They did give me therapy. I took therapy itself. I did anger management classes. I did coping skills. I did a lot of things, and it made me strong.
Good. Well, that's the kind of advice I'd like to ask you. If you're talking to someone who's in a program to help people, call it a shelter, a mission, whatever the program is, what advice would you give them about the classes, the counseling, all the resources there? What advice, from this experienced perspective where you've succeeded and you're moving on now to a whole new exciting level, what advice would you give to someone who's newly in a program, a shelter?
Stay there. And the thing I would say is don't quit. Just stay in there, and trust me, you'll conquer and triumph later. It's like that. But just what you do is just stay there, do the classes, do everything they tell you to do, to make it, because they're not, have you stay there just to relax and lay down and this. They want you to go out there and do something positive, and also spread the word as well.
Would you mind reading what you read to me a moment ago? You said there was something that really touched you. Would you mind reading that? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty powerful. And why is that so special to you?
Okay. Even if I fail you,
Go ahead, I can pause this.
Even if I fail you, Lord, you never failed me. Thank you for your mercy and forgiveness. Thank you. Let me respond to them with a grateful heart. And I just want to let you know that I never failed him because he never failed me. And this is why he got me everything, my blessing and everything. And I'm going to family. And I already got a job. I'm going to work at the place where my mom worked at when she was a teenager. And I'm going back to the church I grew up from, where I used to sing, and it's still up. So it's like I'm so happy that I got everything, everybody I love, and you guys too. I'm gonna love and miss you guys as well.
Thank you very much. We love you. We will miss you. Bye-bye.